Boiling Point is a food movie, one of my favorite subgenres. This one was filmed in 2021. They only got to do 4 takes before the pandemic hit, but this is a 90-minute film all done in 1 take, which is really impressive in itself. We're following Chef Andy. He is a burnt-out chef of a famous restaurant in England, and he's walking to work and he's taking phone calls. Then when he gets to work, we start following around the kitchen. The movie is really great on a technical standpoint because we're following so many different characters without missing a beat, and there's only small moments away from certain characters for them to sort of get into their sort of mode. So it's really cool. So we're following Andy. They have the whole team meeting with his chefs. He's got his sous chef, and then he's got his grill master, and then they introduce all of the kitchen staff pretty fast, and then they introduce the serving staff. There's also the manager, and then they talk about other characters showing up later, like a famous celebrity chef will show up later, as well as a couple doing an engagement, and the camera follows around really in a great, interesting way that's very seamless. The movie gave me anxiety in a good way because the way the camera sort of just floating around, it almost feels like you're in the kitchen with them. You're in the shit working with them whenever you ditch away. And of course, the camera also gives you a small break. So one of the sequences, they follow a dishwasher going to do the garbage, and he's hanging out with someone. And we also follow another character who's in the washroom having a hard time. And sometimes they'll go to a person at the table eating. There's also a lot of, I've worked in a kitchen. I've worked in 2. So the movie, some of the aspects of the film don't ring true, but some of them do. That's really interesting. I think more so the focus of the movie is just the amount of tension that's built up. There's a lot of you can't really stop and take a breath because you're in the middle of service, and sometimes the movie will skip forward in terms of the night filling or the restaurant filling up. It's really great blocking, and just it's a technical marvel on its own, and the movie itself has an interesting story too. It's basically a drama film, and it's very tense at the beginning because they're doing a food inspection, and then they're doing the service, and then there's some personal stuff thrown in. Sometimes you just get snippets of people's personal lives, which is really interesting. There's the pastry chef and her protege of sorts. They have this sort of thing going on, and it's just lightly told upon, and then you don't see any more of it because it just kind of gives you this sort of ensembleness. It's not like an ensemble movie where they put too much focus on every character, but you dip around a little bit, and it's really interesting to see that. Overall, it's a very interesting film. I really enjoyed Boiling Point, and I give it a 7 out of 10.